Hi everyone, I'm Chris Caivano. I am an exercise movement therapist and a certified Qigong instructor. And today I'm going to share with you some interesting exercises to build balance skills. Now, if you know your balance is seriously challenged, or maybe you're very out of shape or recovering from an injury, you may want to check out some of my other videos, especially one called Daily Practice for Building Balance Confidence, because I really explain the nitty-gritty, the technique of how to balance. But this is more for people who've got the basics down and are just looking for some interesting new exercises that are perhaps a bit more challenging. So let's begin. We'll start, as we always do, with a little warm-up just to get our minds and our bodies on the same page. So let's inhale and exhale. Just bring your mind back into your body. Breathing in through the nose, exhaling slow, easy, letting go of stress, letting go of distraction. Shoulders are relaxed, tailbone is relaxed, feeling the crown of the head to the sky, the feet anchored on the earth, bringing our awareness into the present moment. Good. Now let's just shake. Little shaking, bobbling action. Very good for warming up, relaxing. Very good for getting fluid into the joints and for strengthening the feet and the ankles, which are very important for balance. It's just kind of let your shoulders lift and drop, letting go of the stress that we tend to carry a lot of in this upper back area. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. Maybe breathe in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Good. Now standing centered, feeling that axis between the sky and the earth, knees slightly bent, twisting side to side, twisting from the waist so your knees won't twist. And this is called knocking on the door of life, tapping on the lower back and the lower abdomen. Now, if you look over your back shoulder, as I'm demonstrating, that's a good balance building skill. It's changing your focus as you move. Right? But the feet are solidly grounded. They're planted, so you're not going anywhere. You're just breathing and unwinding stress from out of your spine. Let's tap now right below the collarbones, the lung points for healthy respiration. So important to breathe, to keep our central nervous system tuned up and calm. And a few of these, back down to the lower back, lower abdomen, and then slow it down and relax. Now hands on your hips and circle. Circle the hips around. This is called silk reeling for the hips. And it's a great way to warm up the lower back, the hips, the legs. Knees are slightly bent, ankles are relaxed. Breathing and feeling how the weight shifts on the feet. The heels, the outside and the insides of the feet, across all the toes, then go the other way. Great little way to instantly get the circulation moving all the way down into your legs and feet. Do about 6 in each direction, or you could always do more. Okay. Whew, good. First exercise, I call this one the tilt and catch, because that's what we're going to do. Starting with your feet together, you're going to tilt and catch yourself. Okay, let me do that facing straight forward. Here's why. Tilt, catch. Now notice my front knee, which is bent, is right over the center of my foot. That's really important. When you catch your weight, or anytime you bend your knee really, you want the knee to be focused over the middle of the foot, not to the inside or the outside. that would hurt your knee and probably could possibly cause a tumble. You could fall, right? So when you fall, this exercise will train you to align your knee and to strengthen the muscles that support the knee, the muscles of the leg. Now here's the other element that makes this an interesting exercise. Let me face diagonally. And it doesn't matter how far over you tilt, whatever feels safe to you, and never do anything that doesn't feel safe. Feel free to do any of these exercises holding on, of course, and definitely modify so that it works for you and your particular body at that particular moment. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to tilt and fall, and then hold that position. Just stand there for a moment. Give your body a chance to register the solidity, the support of that leg, and come back. Coming back is also a bit of a balance challenge, isn't it? So you tilt and catch yourself. Hold it for a moment. Register that the foot and the ankle are in good alignment, and then back. You can do this to the front. It doesn't have to be as big a step as I'm demonstrating. But doing it to the front is probably the best place to start because that's how we walk. Usually we're walking forward. Okay? You could also do it to the side. Tilt, catch yourself. Notice my leg's a little turned out. It's a natural turnout. Catch. Ta-da. Let's try that way. Tilt, just a little. What we're doing is we're taking our center of gravity and our head, right? And we're changing the weight, starting from the center of gravity. Center of gravity, then we catch it. And come back where the center of gravity and the head are right over the feet. It's physics. It's a good workout. Now, when you go to the back, it's different. You may want to just start stepping to the back with a slight bend in the knee. And then center. Because falling backwards is a tricky thing. You don't want to risk actually falling. So tilt a little bit, catch, hold, relax, and back. Right? You can do this in any direction. You can be playful with it, changing directions. Just make sure you always feel safe. All right, so that's the first exercise. Second exercise is a variation on something called testing the waters. So for this one, we have our feet wider apart. This is called horse stance in Qigong. And we shift the weight right and left. Just do that a few times, relaxing the ankles. And then it's like your hands are swirling your attention. They're swirling your energy over to the left. To the left. Okay? We're going to do this 3 times. 1, 2. On the 3rd time, you keep your hands down there. So there again, we're off center. Most of the weight is on that standing leg. The other leg is free to lift. Doesn't have to, but it could. And then back. Settle into your horse stance. And then let's go to the right. 2, 3. Reach. It's like you're solidly planted on that side. And you may experiment, see if you can lift the foot a little. And center. Shift. 2. Shift. Ooh, very connected. Again, toe on the floor or off. Whatever works for you. Relax. Center. And shift. 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 Tilt. Just call this an overbalance in dance. And relax. It's a really interesting exercise. I don't know how often we do something like this in real life, but if you have the strength to hold it, it's going to serve you well. It's going to serve you well. Those moments where you're a little off balance, you'll have the strength. All right, shake it out. That's 2 of the 3. One more. This one's fun. I think these are all fun. They should be approached as being fun too. With caution, don't do anything crazy, but enjoy, breathe, experiment. We're teaching our body to move with more freedom by teaching it skills. That's fun. All right, so for this one, let's shift the weight into the right leg. I'll mirror you. And just circle the ankle, something I do all the time in class, right? So the knee's off the floor, I'm just circling the ankle in one direction and then the other. Do the same thing on the other side, just to warm up the ankles. And this should be pretty easy to do if you've been practicing, right? If not, stick with this for a while. And again, hold on if you need. Nothing wrong with that. That's how beginning ballet students always hold on to the bar. Balance is a skill. It just takes a little time. So here we are. We're standing on the right leg, left knee is in the air. We're going to circle that ankle, that left ankle, and then we're also going to circle the hands and the wrists. And we're going to breathe, and we're going to relax. About 6 times in one direction, 6 times in the other. Boom, you're done. Right? So relax for a moment in the middle. Then shift your weight into that left leg. The knee is slightly bent. Lift the other leg up and circle. Doesn't matter which direction. Circle the foot and the wrists. About 6 times. 5, 6. And the other way. Breathe. 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Shake it out a little. You could do that as many times as you'd like. Let's do it one more time. Shifting into the right leg, lift the left knee, circle. 3, 4. Just feel that weight down through the standing side, connecting you through gravity to the standing foot. Reverse. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Relax. Relax. Shift into the left foot, right knee up, and circle the foot and the wrists. 3, 4, 5, 6. Other way. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And relax. And that's it. Those are your 3 exercises. Shake it out, relax. After working your feet and ankles and entire body, you may want to do a little stretch. So let's do that together. Let's put the hands on the front thigh and just step the back foot out a little bit. Straighten the back knee, which is not necessarily a Qigong principle, but it is one to help stretch out the calf muscle. Breathe. You want to hold these positions for at least 30 seconds because it takes that long for the muscle to figure out that it's okay for it to relax and stretch. It's called the stretch reflex. Then while we're here, let's lift the back heel, tuck the hip under as much as you can, like you're tucking your tail, and you'll feel a stretch in the front of the hip. That's the psoas muscles. Breathe, stretch into those hip flexor muscles for about 30 seconds. I'm going a little faster than 30 seconds. We'll do the other side. Stabilize by putting your hands on the front thigh, back heel to the floor. Again, it doesn't have to be as wide a stance. Maybe you're getting enough stretch with your foot closer in. Really depends on your proportions and your flexibility. Breathe and lengthen the very strong gastroc soleus muscles. They are the muscles that exert the most force when we're walking. And in balance, they're extremely important, as well as the ankle muscles. And then bring the foot a little closer. Tuck the tail under so you really push the hips forward until you feel probably a pretty strong stretch right in the front of the hip. Right? The psoas muscle connects the inner thigh, goes up through the pelvis, and actually attaches under the ribs on the spine. So it's an important postural muscle. and a good one to make friends with if you want to be a really good, skillful balancer. Breathe and relax. And there you have it. 3 exercises for building balance confidence. Um, I'd love it if you could write to me and let me know how these are working for you, if you have any questions or comments. And please, if you have a minute, give this video a like if you liked it. That's apparently how other people will find out about it. And join me for other videos. After Labor Day, I will be back to teaching my online classes and hope to see you then. Thank you so much. Thanks for practicing with me.